Friday, November 23rd, and run a little late today. It's Thanksgiving weekend, sort of around here, which is expanding into like the whole weekend. It was supposed to be like a one-day holiday, but a lot of relatives still floating around. You'll probably hear some playing out in the street as we ramble on here. But I hope everybody had a good day yesterday. Got to visit with some family, friends, relatives, whoever, whatever you might have around, or maybe not have around. We had about 16, 18, I don't know, maybe 20 people here, including my long-lost daughter Lizzie, coming home from college in New York. So that's part of why things were a little late. I had to get back out today and catch some fastballs. Actually, no fastballs, curveballs, rise balls, change-ups, screw balls. Ooh. It's getting kind of scary. But let's see, I'm mostly here to talk about what kind of happened this week at Totally Guitars, and maybe play a few things, because I've been picking up, going through a lot of old books lately. I'll get to this a little bit later. Maybe not this one, but maybe this one. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to talk about, but we'll see. Do you want to, first, a quick rundown on what we had. The big news for me this week was we had 3 new uploads from students, Target members, who put up their first video. And so we got a chance to take a look at, wait, it's coming to me. Robert's working on Sister Golden Hair, and then one I can't do because I'm not in the right tuning, but I could do this one. So Terry put up a great video of him playing Always on My Mind. We talked about that one a little bit, and then John opened up a few weeks ago with his first upload. He's put up some killer stuff lately too. I only had a chance to see a little bit of it, but I hope to get more on this, of Linus and Lucy. So I always think it's cool when somebody tackles those difficult songs, and good job on that. Then we also had another one at the beginning of the week. Our longtime member Jay, we took a look at his version of Here Comes the Sun. And that way I only had one really cool song I could get to this week, and that was, of course, Tim Hardin's If I Were a Carpenter. So I hope you guys kind of enjoyed that. That was kind of a fun lesson to put together. Well, you know what? I say that, and every lesson I put together is fun. So, but this one was a little different because we looked at a few different ways. A simple way of doing the Campfire version, just a little simple finger picking pattern. And then more like Tim's, which we did in double drop D. You can play it in just single drop D. It works out pretty well as well. And then the way Robert Plant kind of rearranged it, made it a little spookier, spacier. So anyway, that was big news there. And but I mostly wanted to get to a few questions about some of the things that that I mentioned last week. And one in particular was my all-time favorite book. I did mention this book, Classic, World's Favorite Solos. Classic Guitar, number 43. And it's Dermot asked if there are recordings out there of what's in here, and there probably are, but what's happened at this point is you'll find a song like Romanza and you'll hear Christopher Parkening with all kinds of changes and stuff like that in it. So what I really like about this book is it opens up with some really easy songs. Let me see if I can. And what I used to do, one of the things that was really my learning habits, I guess, when I was a teenager, really consisted of opening up this book to some random song and playing it, sight reading it. Not like that one. Let me find one I could play. Oh, here it is. In this book it's called Spanish Ballad. I won't go there. Cool stuff by Fernando Sor, and this is where I first learned this, as a matter of fact. I know you can't see what I'm looking at as I look through the book here, but that was with the version of Bourrée that I learned. There was this Bourrée in B minor. Another one by Bach. I'm flipping back to get to the easier songs. Nice little tune by Henry Purcell, Minuet. Short little 3/4 thing in A minor. Anyway, so great tunes, beginning type songs, and then at the end of the book there get to be some hard stuff. We got a bunch of Carcassi stuff. We have some great tunes by Francisco Tárrega. prima. And, oh, Adelita's in here. Yeah, oh, I love this one. I'll have to wait for that car to go by because now you won't be able to hear how beautiful this tune is. This one is worth working on though. So that's the kind of stuff that's in this book. I recommend everybody pick it up. But that also got me looking at books I started with when I was just 8 years old or 9 years old, something like that. Mel Bay, Volume 1, still have it. This book was $1.25 back in 1965 or something like that. And opens up with how to read music, something that is really, really important. So I can't stress enough that it's really useful to learn how to read music, but of course back when I was doing this there was nothing out there in tablature. Came along a little bit later and I was knocked out when I first saw this book because it had some of James Taylor's stuff in tablature. Now the tablature was only medium accurate and it was very short, like here's just a little piece of Carolina in My Mind, really just has like the intro. So 2 measures worth, just giving you a little rough idea of what he did. But this was kind of a gold mine back in its day, and this book was $6.95 back then. That was a chunk of change in the early 70s, I tell you. But it seems like a steal now. I think that's it as far as, oh no, I had one more thing I was going to talk about, and that was difficult chord fingering. Sometimes is it worth it or not? And I want to tell you a short story about a song I wrote that I've played here before, I think. Now the reason I bring this up is as I was writing this tune is called Cobble Creek. There came a spot where I could hear what had to happen. There was a part where I needed to play these big old chords that had to be D-shaped chords and slide them up and down the neck and be able to shift from a D shape into a D minor shape and still keep the bar down there. And this was one of those things where I was thinking, oh, this is how the song has to go. This is what's coming next, and it's going to be really hard. And I had to decide, well, is it worth it or not? And so I kind of set aside. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to struggle with this for a few minutes and see if it improves. And if it doesn't improve noticeably in like 5 minutes of working on it, I'm going to say it's impossible and can't happen. And unfortunately, or fortunately for the long term of the song, I guess, after 5 minutes I could see I was almost disappointed to find out that, oh, if I work on this, I will be able to play it. And that part of the song is now, it's a really important part of the song, and and I'm so glad I didn't take the shortcut there to make it not work. So when people are asking, this is a good question that was also brought up by a new member about the G chord. Is it worth learning to play G like this? And I really appreciate the fact that all the old timers and some of the medium and some of the new timers that weighed in on it as to how it went for them when they were working on that. It's kind of like working on bar chords. Is it worth it to learn how to do this? Yes. Is it worth it to learn how to do this? Yes. Is it worth it to learn how to do this? Yes. It's just that it's always going to be work, and it's always going to be a gradual process. That's the thing. You can't really say, okay, I just got to do that and it'll be fine. So all of these things may have minimal practical applications, but there are going to have some. One particular song, another one where I just had to slap myself upside the head. My tremolo is in terrible shape because I don't practice this. It's clunky, and right now I've got a bad nail and all kinds of stuff. But as I was working on a tune called Highway Robbery, which I can't even remember right now, someday I'll get back to it, which is on El Dorado, I believe. Yeah. As I was putting that song together, it's very long. It's got a lot of different parts. It's 9 or 10 minutes long. It's got some jazzy stuff happening here and there. And it gets kind of soulful and bluesy in the middle. But there came a spot in there where I realized that the next part, kind of like in the Cobble Creek story, that the next part, unfortunately, had to have tremolo in it. Meaning, which is this rapid, hitting the same string 3 times in a row. I practiced a little, it's warming up a little bit. Oh, you saw Muriel Anderson maybe talk about this a couple of years ago when she was here, when she dropped by to do a workshop for us. Anyway, okay, I got to get out of here and end this story, so let me see if I can wrap this up. Where I'm going is, became obvious from a creative side, that when I was putting together Highway Robbery, there had to be a part in it, the next part had to be tremolo, and that just meant I had to suck it up and practice my tremolo and get it in good shape so it was presentable, at least to record it, and then also to play it live a few times. I think I may have only played it live once, but luckily I think there were cameras rolling at the time. I think it's up here somewhere at the site in the concert area. But it was one of those songs where I thought, this is going to take so much time to get back into good shape or to get presentable. Is it worth it? And having learned from Cobble Creek and dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands of other small incidents going further back, it's always worth it. So just push yourself. I like it when I see that there are students out there tackling very difficult songs. Oh yeah, this one's not there yet. I'm working on this. Oh, I played something else at the beginning that's not there too, huh? What did I play? Oh, When I'm 64. Okay, I'm going to try to be getting to more instrumentals and maybe some beginning classical guitar pieces are sort of my Thanksgiving resolution. Okay, that's it. I got to get back to hanging out with the relatives before we put her on a plane back to the East Coast tomorrow. So I hope all is well, and again, that everybody had a good holiday. Well, we're in the middle of it right now, but weekend here in the States. And for those around the rest of the world, it's probably business as usual, but that should be going fine as well, I'm sure. So, okay, we'll see you later.